Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Erby?
Here.
Councilmember Burkett? Councilmember Wassinger?
Here.
Councilmember O'Meara?
Here.
Councilmember Dolan?
Here.
Councilmember Stanger?
Here.
Councilmember Quinn. Madam Chair, we have a quorum.
Approval of the journal.
I move for approval of the journal of the meeting of March 4th, 2014. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The journal is approved. We have no bid openings this evening, so we'll move to communications.
Madam Chair, there are no tax compromises, zoning matters, or road and bridge matters this evening, so I'll move to other communications. Under other communications, item number 1, all districts.
Receive and file, and there will be the order.
Item number 2, second district.
Receive, file, refer to the council as committee of the whole, and the administrative director be directed to verify the amended petition for the creation of the 1030 Woodcrest Terrace Drive Community Improvement District, and to schedule a public hearing on the matter in the manner recommended on April 1st, 2014. So, and that will be the order.
Item number 3, fourth district.
Receive, file, and the change of managing officer be approved as requested.
I'm okay.
Are we up to me yet?
Go ahead.
Fourth district.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 4, sixth district.
Receive, file, and the county council be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation.
So ordered.
Item number 5, seventh district.
Receive, file, and the agreement be approved as recommended.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 6, all districts.
Receive and file, and that will be the order.
Item number 7.
Receive, file, and the county council be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation. Same motion through item number 10, and that will be the order.
Item number 11, fourth, sixth, and seventh districts.
Receive, file, and the county council be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation.
So ordered.
Item number 12, sixth district.
Receive, file, and the county council be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation.
So ordered.
Item number 13, seventh district.
Same motion.
So ordered.
Item number 14, first district.
Receive, file, and the county council be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation, and a copy of this report be sent to the city of University City, and that will be the order.
Item number 15, fourth district.
Receive, file, and matter be held on the order of business and referred to the council as committee of the whole.
So ordered.
Item number 16.
Receive and file, and that will be the order.
Item number 17, second district.
Receive, file, refer to the council as a committee of the whole, and the administrative director be directed to schedule a public hearing in accordance with section 353.060 revised statutes of Missouri on April 1st, 2014. Said hearing to be held simultaneously with the public hearing on the petition for creation of the 1030 Woodcrest Terrace Drive Community Improvement District. And that will be the order.
Item number 18, sixth district.
Receive, file, and the change of owner be approved as requested.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Please read the add-ons.
There are no add-ons this evening, Madam Chair.
You don't have any add-ons?
I thought we did.
Okay. Okay, County Executive Dooley, do you have any?
No report, Madam Chairman.
Okay, there are no reports of special committee, so we'll move to the public forum. We have 6 speakers. Our first speaker is Alan Lederbrand. I'd like to ask you to keep your comments to 3 minutes, please.
My name is Alan Lederbrand. I live at 3918 Jacinto Drive in Lime. I'm here to ask you to not approve or kill the legislation for a resident to have a license if they want to rent their property. It's been fine for years. I don't understand why a resident needs a property owner who lives in a house decides he can't, maybe because of business reasons or some condition, that he needs to rent his house, now needs a license. And I see that you're going to expand on the permits that are going, or the, not the permit, but the occupancy permit's going to be expanded. The founding fathers never expected that, you would have to get a license to own your own property. I mean, is it going to get to the point where you're going to have us get a license so we can buy a house? I mean, this is ridiculous. It seems like to me this is just an undue burden tax on the citizens of St. Louis County, and it also kind of leads me to believe that a special interest group is behind this. Because a lot of times these licenses and additional restrictions on the common people are because some group wants you to impose a fee or an additional license to make it hard for a person, so therefore you've got to go to a company or some independent group that's going to say, well, I'll take care of it for you, and I'll get the license, and I'll handle this all for you. I just think it's wrong. I don't know why we need this. There are many times private citizens need to rent their house, and why are we putting this undue burden on them? I ask you to please kill this bill altogether. That's all. Thank you for your time.
Madam Chair, can I make a comment?
Sure.
There hasn't even been a bill come down yet, so I don't even know,
It's on the agenda here.
but no,
But requiring a license, or
there is no bill out there. No bill has come down.
okay.
That is not a
what's-
bill.
now, please explain to me what's on your agenda
That's
here.
requesting legislation that we haven't even gotten down
Well,
here yet.
I don't even think you should take it up, period.
So whatever you've said, there is no legislation.
Well, why don't we take it off the agenda then? Kill it. Take it off. Please do so, would you? Thank you.
Lisa Burnett. And after Lisa is Jane Cunningham.
Okay, I'm also going to discuss something that isn't before you yet, but I know that it is because it was on the news. Gravoy and 270, the commuter lot, the people have already spoken. They don't want you to touch the commuter lot over there. They like driving their cars. I know it's not popular, but they like driving their cars, and they actually like driving their cars to work and commuting to work, which I would think that this council would appreciate, since all the measures that you seem to take makes them get out of their cars. The second thing is this, that is on here to say, require owners of residential property who wish to rent their property to obtain a license. And it is on here. I mean, that's what it states that you're
I'm not
looking at.
denying that. I'm saying there is no legislation down here yet.
Well, it's for requested legislation.
But there
Yes.
is no legislation.
Yeah, but it means we're discussing it, and that's why we're discussing
There's
it with
nothing
you.
to discuss because we don't have any legislation
I
to
need you to
discuss
finish
yet.
your three.
Okay, so I want to know, while we are discussing this, that if you decide to look at this, how it falls into a permit. Because a permit means an implied something that you're giving to me. You can't just assume a permit. That's called a tax. When you just say, we're now doing something above and beyond, like you have an occupancy permit, but there's an implied, there's something that you get out of that. So as you look at this, know that that isn't the definition of a permit. That's a definition of a tax. There's a difference. Next, I want to say, this was on here, let's see, to go to Pat Reddington, it was Mr. Steve Stenger, a request for legislation also. And this is supporting Missouri working families and middle class in opposition to policies that are contrary to their success. Thank God, yeah, hello, we're with you on this one, Mr. Stenger. What I would say is, I don't know how your streets bill fit into this. The $1 billion bill was helping the middle class, what that was going to do for their tax rates and getting rid of their car lanes that they take to get to work. This looks like empty rhetoric to me, is what this looks like, which we're filled with in this county. And I'm equally aggressive with a D or an R next to your name. I really don't care. And I am going to do you a favor and tell you that if you get someone to run against you, you should see if they were already supporting you before they started running against you. That's a little tidbit for you, Mr. Singer, because I think you're about ready to get that scenario. Also, in here, it says that audits, I just want to show you guys this. It's called the charter. This is your rule book. And the charter states that you can, and I quote, provide for such frequent audits as deemed necessary. So anybody on this council that is running for county executive against Mr. Dooley, they can call for an audit at any time. They don't have to take Mr. Dooley's job. So just another,
Madam Chair, that's the-
just in the charter.
Please wrap your comments up.
Okay,
Thank you.
that's it.
Thank you. Jane Cunningham. Jennifer Byrd will be next.
My name is Jane Cunningham. I'm a Monarch Fire Board Director and a former state senator. Central County Emergency 911 dispatches fire and ambulance calls for most of the county residents. I'm on their board of directors. Within the last 90 days, there have been discussions between your Emergency Communications Commission and 3 area fire chiefs about the county government providing the exact same services that Central County does, despite the common understanding that the county doesn't want anything to do with the fire business. At an ECC public meeting in January, several commissioners expressed their surprise that Central County was able to seamlessly transition numerous dispatch centers into one, and they thanked us for our broadly recognized exceptional service. But since that time, for unexplained reasons, there has been heavy pressure on the Central County Board to adopt a strange resolution, agreeing to go into talks with the county about the county providing the same services that we already do. We are always willing to discuss ideas, but this forced agreement to talk is bizarre. When one tries to figure out who is driving this pressure and why, the parties involved point fingers at each other. Something doesn't pass the sniff test when there is such an effort to fix something that no one says is broken. I understand that the county plans include a $12 to $15 million call center, adding fire and ambulance dispatching to what you all already do with your police dispatch. Number one, fire and police dispatching are very different animals and pretty much have to be done separately by different dispatchers. Two, the Central County property and high-tech equipment are worth over $6 million, and the suggestion is being made to close this new facility and use it only as a backup, even though that center is working marvelously well. Three, I understand your building under construction is mainly above ground in Tornado Alley, and the Central County facilities with millions of dollars in temperature-sensitive equipment is below ground with a thick layer of concrete over it and an F5 tornado rating. 4, there are no assurances that the county can replicate this highly technical service, and people's lives depend on it. Remember, they even were surprised we pulled it off. Someone needs to investigate why this is moving forward at all, why there is so much pressure to get this done before the county executive election, and how much it will cost taxpayers for service they already have. It's our money, and I'd be happy to answer any questions if you have any.
Thank you.
I do have copies of my comments, because I know that went fast. Would it be all right if I pass it out to the members?
Ma'am, I'll take them.
All righty, thank you very much.
Jennifer Byrd. Tom Sullivan will be next.
My name is Jennifer Byrd, and thank you once again for taking my comments. I'm not interested in getting into a semantics game, so I'm just going to read this so that it can be very clear. Legislation requested at the January 28th, 2014 County Council meeting, 4th District, to require owners of residential property in St. Louis County who wish to rent the property to others to obtain a license to do so, and will further impose additional requirements to obtain an occupancy permit for residential rental properties as requested by the Honorable Mike O'Meara. I'd like to encourage you to abandon the idea, it's a new tax, and maybe for Lent, we could give up spending other people's money just for a little bit. It is a tax, and it also is contrary to, in other communications on page 3, 6th District, communication directed to Pat Reddington, County Councilor, from the Honorable Steve Stenger, Councilman for the 6th District. I do appreciate this, though, Mr. Stenger. Requesting that a resolution be prepared for adoption at the March 11th, 2014 County Council meeting, expressing the St. Louis County Council's support for Missouri's working families and middle class and opposition to policies that are contrary to their success, and stating Council members O'Mara and Dolan will co-sponsor the resolution. Taxing people, making them get a permit, which is asking for permission and then a fine to be paid, it's a tax. It's contrary to what people are trying to do to be successful. There are a variety of reasons that people rent their homes. I think I mentioned last week that one of them is when people are underwater in their mortgages, and this is one way they can recoup without having to go completely under. So that seems like that whole idea of even creating legislation for that would be contrary to the people's success. Also, I saw in the news, wouldn't selling the commuter lot at 270 in Gravois be contrary to the people's success? There are a lot of people that do wish to commute to work, and they wish to share a ride, so that would, to be sold to a developer seems like it would give a developer advantage over what regular people could do by parking in a commuter lot and sharing a ride to work. I was under the impression that this council was interested in reducing traffic, although in my estimation, having bike lanes added to areas and removing streets, that was the legislation we talked about with the complete streets, adds congestion. So I guess I'm not really understanding how selling the lot at 270 in Gravois would be of benefit to the people, and that's the people you're supposed to be representing. So I would encourage you not to enter into that agreement. So I appreciate your time, and happy.
Would that a commuter lot, isn't that MoDOT?
On the news, it said the county was looking at selling it.
I would think a commuter lot would be MoDOT.
One would think, but I don't know all the plats and
All the way up
plots,
to
so I
your
don't.
outer roads is the easement of MoDOT, so I don't know if the county would own a commuter lot.
Councilman Watson.
Madam Chair, I was just wondering if Director Hodges would have any input on,
Okay, well, I appreciate the correction. The news is incorrect, and maybe you guys could send them a word that it would be not beneficial to the people of the county whom you serve, and we appreciate when you do, to urge them not to sell it. So thank you for taking my comments.
Thank you. Tom Sullivan.
Madam Chair and members of the council, I have questions about Bill number 40, which is $360,000 to the Jacobs Engineering Group for a, quote, conceptual study of 2 bridges. The first question is why this is being done, and the second question is why it costs so much. Also, what other firms submitted proposals. As you know, the director of the county's Public Works Department was a top executive at Jacobs before coming to the county. Jacobs is an international multi-billion-dollar engineering firm that has been in a considerable amount of trouble with the federal government and others. A few examples. In 2004, 2 former Jacobs employees were involved in a bid rigging scheme that caused the firm to get millions of dollars of business to oversee a big expansion of McCormick Place in Chicago. The former Jacobs employees were indicted and eventually pleaded guilty. In 2000, Jacobs paid $35 million to settle a lawsuit brought by the United States government. Jacobs was accused of improperly billing the United States Army, the United States Air Force, the United States Navy, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, and the Department of Energy. Jacobs and a predecessor firm, Sverdrup, have received tens of millions of dollars in no-bid contracts at MSD. Many have been questionable, which is not unusual at the sewer district. I think there's a lot more this council needs to know about this contract and this company. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
Tom, what bill was that? I'm sorry.
Number 40.
Oh, 40.
It's on the agenda.
Tony Pasosa.
Good evening. My name's Tony Pizzosa, 9700 Antigo Drive, alderman from the city of Green Park and candidate for county executive. I'm also here to talk about the real estate license. And as a taxpayer, Councilman O'Meara, I know that you are requesting this legislation, and as a taxpayer and representing taxpayers that I've spoken from my municipality, they are requesting that you remove this legislation from moving forward.
I can't remove it when I don't even have it yet.
Well, you can, as the gentleman said before me, you can take it off the request list. If it's being requested, you are asking to move it forward.
Okay,
So-
could you finish your comments, please, and then we'll.
Well, that's part of my comments. So we already have ordinances, and we already have a problem properties department that can handle any issues with rental property. If this is what this is about, this additional tax on our property that belongs to us, you already have means to make sure that that doesn't occur. And I think before you implement anything further on taxpayers, that you use the things at your disposal that are already in the county charter to protect rental properties, whether it be from meth labs or whatever the case may be. Whatever you're looking to achieve with this new tax, you need to think again and take it off, because the taxpayers don't want this, because it is their property. Our property belongs to us, and we should be able to do as we please with it within the laws of St. Louis County that already exist. And Councilman Stanger, as my elected representation, you should be first in fighting for our rights for residential property, but it's evident that you do not because of our nice little building we have down on Telegraph and Herb Road. So I think we all know where we stand, and the taxpayers will come here in force if this moves forward. Thank you.
Thank you. That will conclude the public forum. We'll move to introduction of bills.
Bill number 43, introduced by Councilmember Erby, an ordinance authorizing the county executive to execute a contract with the United States Social Security Administration for provision of electronic query access to inmate information for Social Security purposes. Bill number 44, introduced by Councilmember Erby, an ordinance authorizing the county executive to execute a contract with Dr. Donald Lindhorst to complete an evaluation of the first 12 years of the St. Louis County Municipal Mental Health Court. Bill number 45, introduced by Councilmember Erby, an ordinance approving acceptance of donation of $1,400 from the Missouri Police Chiefs Charitable Trust, appropriating same for support of the DARE unit. Madam Chair, that is all the bills.
Perfection of bills.
Bill number 8, introduced by Councilmember O'Meara.
Hold, please.
So ordered.
Bill number 15, introduced by Councilmember O'Meara.
Hold, please.
So ordered.
Bill number 40, introduced by Councilmember Quinn.
I move to perfect Bill number 40.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I abstain. Any opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 40 is perfected.
Bill number 41, introduced by Councilmember Erby.
I move for perfection of bill number 41.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 41 is perfected.
Bill number 42, introduced by Councilmember Stanger.
Please hold.
So ordered. Final passage of bills.
Bill number 330, introduced by Councilmember Burkett.
Bill number 330 is held.
Bill number 11, introduced by Councilmember O'Meara.
Hold, please.
So ordered.
Bill number 37, introduced by Councilmember Quinn.
Hold, please.
So ordered.
Bill number 38, introduced by Councilmember Quinn.
I move for final passage of Bill number 38.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Erby.
Aye.
Councilmember Burkett. Councilmember Wassinger.
Aye.
Councilmember O'Meara.
Aye.
Councilmember Dolan.
Aye.
Councilmember Stanger.
Aye.
Councilmember Quinn. Madam Chair, on Bill number 38, there are 5 ayes and 2 absent.
Bill number 38 is finally passed.
Bill number 39, introduced by Councilmember Stanger.
Please hold.
So ordered.
Moving on to resolutions, Madam Chair, we have one this evening. Resolution number 1, introduced by Councilmember Stanger, O'Meara, and Dolan. Resolution. Whereas numerous studies have demonstrated and our own experience and common sense have confirmed that central location, good transportation, infrastructure, a skilled and stable workforce, the value and availability of business incentives, reasonable tax rates, high caliber public services, and low energy costs.
Madam Clerk, I move for the adoption of the resolution and just want to add and say that this is a resolution that I'm introducing in the hopes of communicating a message to our assembly in Jeff City that this council seeks to protect working families and hopes that the priorities of the assembly will include protecting working families and protecting workers in our state, as opposed to stifling them and their families.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Erby?
Aye.
Councilmember Burkett? Councilmember Wassinger?
This resolution I just received this afternoon, and I read it generally. Obviously, I support working families having every opportunity in the county, as I think we all do, but there are provisions in this resolution relating to right-to-work laws and what the General Assembly is considering. I'm not familiar with them enough to make, so I'm going to vote no.
Councilmember O'Meara?
Aye.
Councilmember Dolan?
Aye.
Councilmember Stanger?
Aye.
Councilmember Quinn. Madam Chair, on resolution number 1, there are 4 ayes, 2 absent, and 1 no.
Resolution number 1 is adopted.
Moving on to unfinished business, item number 1, 6th District.
Receive and file.
So ordered.
Item number 2, 6th District.
Receive and file.
So ordered.
Item number 3, 6th District.
Hold in the order of business.
So ordered.
And Madam Chair, moving on to new business, we have 2 prepared orders this evening.
I move for adoption of orders number 1 and 2.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Orders number 1 and 2 are adopted.
Move we adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Meeting is adjourned.